Let's try to visit some of the things we didn't get to at all. There have been some discussions, all right? Everyone wants to change All-Star Weekend, try to make it better, try to make it compelling. So the discussions right now are a one-on-one tournament, which would be a $1 million prize, Lou. There's that M-Dog you were talking about. Kyrie said he's in, so there's one. Do we like it, Chandler?
I do. I really do. I don't think, you know who I don't think is going to like, I don't think the teams are going to like it. I don't think they want their all-star players playing competitive one-on-one games in the middle of the season. Even guys like SGA, a guy like Kyrie, guys like that are on the cusp of winning a championship this year. It just goes back to the whole injury thing, right? And I don't think teams are going to love it. Now, as a fan, as a basketball head, I love it. I think it's the biggest way to get competitive guys on the floor. You're on an island. You do have to tweak it. You have to put like a dribble minimum to avoid just bigs, just constantly backing guards down. You got to put a 2 or 3 dribble, minimum, which is normal in one-on-one games. But I like it. Does it mean you're going to get the most intense one-on-one matchups and guys are going to try and lock in? No, but it definitely it gets the competitive juices flowing. When you're playing one-on-one, there's difference. There's a difference when there's no help defense behind you. There's a difference. There's no guy 2-9ing in the paint. It's just you and a guy who obviously is a hell of a scorer. So I do think it will be a lot more entertaining and interesting than the skills challenge, than the 3-point contest, and probably the dunk contest. So I like it a lot. Obviously, it depends on who we get in too. It's kind of like the dunk contest, right? Like, who are we going to get to do this? Kyrie obviously is a great start, probably one of the greatest one-on-one players of all time. But yeah, I'm all for it. And as crazy as it sounds, the $1 million, I think that is a big incentive. I think it doesn't matter how much money these guys make. They want more, which is natural and which is normal. So I'm all for it.
I mean, it's $1,500,000 after taxes, Lou. But look, it's not bad. It's compelling. I would want to watch this, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I love the idea of it. The only startling thing about it for me is you've seen guys over and over and saying that they would do it or who would win, and nobody's picked their self yet. You know what I'm saying? Everybody that's talking about it is picking another guy to win this tournament. So now that you put $1 million on the table, I'm curious to see how rapid those answers are going to change. But, all in all, I like the idea of these guys being able to do something. Like I said, the NBA is trying to do so many different things, innovative. Some of them are kind of gimmicky. Now, this is something that we can get behind, and just like Chandler just mentioned, a lot of teams won't be excited about a competitive one-on-one game. But look, these guys play one-on-one every single day in practice in your buildings anyways, so when you make it a little competitive, when you do it in front of a crowd, these guys are smart, just like the All-Star game, just like any of the other events. They're going to protect themselves. They're going to protect their investments in themselves and what's at stake. So I don't see a problem with this tournament. I love the idea of it. Hopefully we can get something good out of it. Hopefully we can get the caliber of guys in this tournament that we want in a tournament, not just the guys that want to play, but the guys that are going to change how we look at All-Star Weekend and push it forward.
Didn't we have Drew Holiday on? And he said, well, hold on, I don't want to give it away yet because you guys are going to have to pick here in a second. But you're right, Lou. Guys were asked who do they think would be the best. Ant said KD. Donovan Mitchell picked Steph. And shockingly, Draymond picked LeBron. Odds-on favorite right now, Lou. Who do you think it would be? And the fact that Kyrie's already in. So,
listen, I got to be honest. Watching Unrivaled, it taught me a lot. It doesn't care. It doesn't matter what size you are, how good you are, what's your reputation. Anybody can lose in one-on-one, especially when you're going to 8 or 11 in 7 seconds, ones and twos. Like, anybody can get knocked out of this tournament. And so, speed is going to be an asset. Size is going to be an asset. Whether or not you can shoot the basketball is going to be an asset. Like, even Kyrie Irving, if you only give him 2 dribbles, his ball handling abilities doesn't even matter. And so this thing can go all different types of ways. But if I had to pick one guy, I would like Wemby for his size. I would like and for his physicality, and I would like SGA for his mid-range abilities. And then you can throw a guy like a DeMar DeRozan in there for his mid-range abilities. So this tournament can go all over the place. It can be exciting if we get it right. But again, no matter all of these ideas that we have about tournaments and ideas and one-on-ones and all of that, if the players aren't in and it's not something that they're excited to do, it really doesn't matter. So we got to get those guys on the same page of making sure that they make it exactly what we want it to be.
You heard his three, Chandler. And by the way, shout out Nafisa Collier on Unrivaled because she won the big pot. And that's sort of maybe the inspiration, or maybe they're seeing that it's working. So Lou, were those your three then? Wemby, Wemby,
Yep.
SGA,
If
and
you
Ant.
if
Okay.
if I'm picking one, I'll just go with Ant-Man. Just
Okay.
because it's yeah, just because it's limited dribbles and the physicality, he can shoot, he's going to be physical, and he got speed. And so if you're limiting these guys to 2 or 3 dribbles, I'm assuming that's probably what it's going to be. That's the only way it would make sense. You don't want to give these guys unlimited dribbles with 7 seconds on the shot clock. But I like Ant-Man in this type of tournament.
Okay. Chandler, what do you got?
I read this wrong. I read it as 3 different one-on-one matchups, but 3 of the guys are the guys that Lou picked. So I would love to see. I would love KD versus Wemby. I think just that
Okay.
length and that skill one-on-one would be awesome. I picked Ant versus Devin Booker. Devin Booker's kind of like a sleeper to me one-on-one. He's big. He's got guard skills. He can guard smalls. He can bigs. I think he'd be one of the ones that would do very, very well in this. And then Kyrie Irving versus SGA, kind of 2 elite ball handling guards that can kind of get to their spot. Pull up game is crazy. So those would be the 3 matchups I want. Now, what's be interesting is like a guy like Peyton Pritchard that Drew Holiday said is got a guard one-on-one, or a guy like Cam Thomas, who's just an absolute bucket getter. Would they go to All-Star Weekend not being in the All-Star game just to play in something like this? And I think they would for the $1 million, especially guys like that aren't making 30, 40, $50 million a year. So I think, again, it's kind of the same thing. We obviously want the stars. We want the John Morants, the Zions in the dunk contest. We want the KDs, the Wembys in the one-on-one contest. But it'll be interesting. The other guys that play that are really good one-on-one, do they go do it? And does the $1 million give them even more incentive?
I mean,
Right.
if you're a Peyton Pritchard, isn't it a no-brainer? Like if it's open, wouldn't you just, of course I'm going to enter? And you might shock some people because they're not going to know.
Especially someone like Peyton Pritchard, that like he's not the guy I'd guess that would be nasty one-on-one. So the fact that Drew Holiday, one of the greatest defending guards in the league, is saying that, now I want to see him play one-on-one. You know what I mean? Now I want to watch their practice afterwards. I want to watch the battle of ones, because that is a different kind of basketball. There's so many guys that would destroy me one-on-one when I was playing that didn't have the impact or didn't play the minutes I played, because that wasn't my game. Like, I'm not a one-on-one guy. I'm a straight ball movement, play off other great players guy. I wouldn't be interested in doing this. A guy like Lou Will now, I think Lou would be fantastic at this. Lou, Jamal Crawley, these guys are buckets. They can create their own shot. Like, Lou, you would definitely go and play in this, right? If you were still active.
Yeah. Hell yeah, I would. If I qualified, and that's going to be another thing. Like, what is it going to be your field? How many guys are going to be able to sign up on the women's side? I think you had about 64 of the young ladies. It might not have been that many, but you had a literal NCAA style tournament until you narrowed it down. Like, how many guys are going to be able to qualify? But if I was an active player, definitely would throw my name in that hat, in that ring, especially for $1 million. But that's the part I want to clean up. Like, everything can't be a money incentive. Like, we got a mid-season tournament that's for $500,000. Now we got to give another, well, not we, because it ain't my cheese, but it's another $1 million on the line for a 101 tournament. Like, everybody's making a ton of money. We got to get back to where this is about pride, or it's about competitiveness. We know everybody's going to play for some money. We get that part. Now we want to kind of get out of that. I think the fans are just getting to a place where they just want somebody to show some pride, or show the fact that they appreciate the fan experience. I think we should get back to that part. But the $1 million ain't too shabby to get a lot of guys excited to play one-on-one.
Are you asking
crazy,
humans to not be motivated by money, Lou? I don't understand these words you're saying.
I'm asking humans not to be motivated by money every single turn of the way. That's all I'm saying. Money is the motivation. Be clear. Everybody has a responsibility to feed their families and to further their careers and to earn the money that's deserved. But at what point do we say, I'm making enough cheese, I'm going to make money anyway by being there? Everything shouldn't be a cash incentive to get guys to be competitive. That's all I'm saying.
Honestly, I was thinking the same thing when the play-in tournament happened. I was like, Jesus, these guys make so much money. Like, and no shade, like, do we really have to incentivize them with more money? And then how successful that was, and how hard those guys played during that tournament, I honestly was like, you know what? Maybe money is the motive still, even if you're making, these super max deals. So again, I like it. I like anything to make this weekend better. And I really do think that this one-on-one tournament, again, is it going to guarantee us competitive, huge games, guys giving fouls? What rules are we going to put in there is a huge factor. And again, who are we going to get? It comes down to the same thing as the dunk contest and everything. But I do think this is a way to get stars to kind of show us their full game, their full package on display one-on-one with no help.
So let's do rules. Let's start there, Chandler. Let's start throwing out rules that would need to be implemented or that you'd like to see.
There's got to be a dribble limit, first of all. Like if Wemby plays Kyrie Irving, he can't just back him down 7 dribbles and put it. There's got to be a shot clock. You can't. Kyrie also can't just sit there and jab you.
Well, how long a shot clock? Like,
I think it's got to be quick. If it's a 2 dribble minimum, I think you got to go 7 to 10 seconds to where like you can't just sit there and blow your guy to sleep. And also for entertainment and for watching purposes, you don't want long possessions. You want bang bang. There's obviously got to be a referee. You can't call your own foul or it will never end. So there's got to be a referee.
That's awesome.
There's got to be a dribble limit. I think you should do it like the NCAA tournament, kind of like what Unrival's doing, like a bracket style where it's like you kind of look forward to those matchups and you go. And I think what they're doing is honestly perfect.
So could you just have a player per team and then that's the tournament style and break and then it goes all, but it's kind of crazy because you could have a Wemby versus. Yeah. Well, yeah, but I'd watch that. I would 100% watch that. I'm thinking it through in real time. Like even if it's one player per team and dwindles down to a big matchup, who's not watching that?
That's gonna take all night though. You know, you're talking about 30. You're talking about 30 different
Well,
guys.
get rid of the celebrity game. Garbage. That was garbage. There are certain things you can just get rid of.
That's usually like isn't that usually like an early in the day type of thing? Like that doesn't really change the schedule. You would have to move some things around though. You got the skills competition. I think that's the one that you kind of get rid of.
Skills. That's good.
Yeah, get rid of the skills competition. Maybe move the dunk contest or one of those to Friday night, and you replace this with a longer time slot, and you put this on Saturday night and be one of your marquee events. But I like all of the rules. So I think you put a 3 dribble max in. Obviously, a referee will be involved. I like an unrivaled where they're getting the rebounds. They have somebody to kick it out to, where you're having a real kind of game where you can catch the ball on the fly and simulate real basketball. I like all of those ideas. I know that they're getting fouled. They're shooting free throws on the second foul. So a lot of the things we can take a page out of their book, take a page out of these women book, and use it for our own good and do it in our tournament. But I think we're in a good place as it is.
I do like the free throw, like the second foul free throw, or else I would just keep hacking and check up. Like, you know what I mean? So there's got to be some sort of penalty if you continuously foul. So I do like that a lot too.
And Lou, I have a question. What if they did like an old dude one-on-one tournament and look, there's money on the line, obviously. Would you do that? Like how much money would it take for you to come out and do that?
At this, what do you mean? Like alumni?
Wait, what?
Like alumni guys, like retired?
Yeah,
retired
old dudes. Yeah, there's levels to old, but yeah, whatever you need.
Oh yeah, I'll do it. Now I don't know how entertaining it will be, and if y'all really worried about injuries, that's where you're gonna find your injuries at. It ain't gonna be with the active guys that's in shape and that hoop every day for a living. That's where you go. That's where you gonna get a blow up. Obviously, you gotta put an age limit in there. The age limit gotta be like from 35 to 40. You can't have no 44s, 45.
You got a 40-year-old playing right now. Come on, you make at least 50.
But you just got one. 40. But you just got one. You can't have 4 or 5 of them in there being active and playing. You know, listen, I know for a fact I'm out of shape and I feel like I'm still in pretty good shape. And I've seen some of my peers, they don't look as good as me. So that tells me that none of us are working out anymore. So if you put us in a position where we're competitive in front of the world, in front of a live crowd, and people are cheering and all of our juices get to flowing again, our bodies are going to start moving way faster than our minds are going to move, and we're going to get hurt. Somebody's going to get hurt, but I definitely would be down for it to play.
I'd watch this. I would watch this. You could sponsor like an insurance company and like an urgent care, have it like on site. Like there's a lot of room here for that. Yeah. And then Chandler, for you, what about an all white old guy? You, Scalabrini, one-on-one. Talk to me.
I think the 3-point contest is all I'd have left in my bag, Michelle, and I still think I'd be violently sore after jumping that many